Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. The Jamaica Bankers Association, JBA, says the Bank of Jamaica's decision to lower its interest rate is in line with global trends. The central bank shaved off 25 basis points, bringing the rate to 6.75% last week. President of the JBA, Audrey Tugwell Henry, says the average cost of goods and services have moderated, which supports a reduction in interest rates.
Locally and globally, we are seeing inflation rates coming down. And we are also seeing a number of central banks, including the Federal Reserve, either taking steps to start to gradually decrease policy rates or making announcements of steps to gradually decrease policy rates. So overall, we think that the actions of the central bank certainly in starting to gradually reduce policy rates are quite in order. And the Jamaica Bankers Association supports the actions.
She also addressed the calls being made by some private sector stakeholders for the rate to be lower.
Generally speaking, all economists agree that you cannot drag the policy rate back to the lowest levels that they were at. It has to be a gradual downwards movement. And it was a gradual increase, and so we expect that to adjust it and to be orderly, it would be a gradual decrease. And all indications from central banks across the world is to gradually take the rates back down. There is even the conversation of, will the rates ever go back to where they were prior to the increase? And that is to be seen.
Last Wednesday's rate cut announcement signaled the end of the COVID-19 pandemic-linked rate hikes forced by higher inflation. It was the first cut in the policy interest rate since August 2019, when it was lowered to 0.5%. The decision comes after 10 rate hikes by the central bank since October 2021, which brought the local policy interest rate to 7%. Now, picking up on our coverage of Finance Minister Dr. Clarke heading to the International Monetary Fund IMF as Deputy Managing Director come the end of October. In an exclusive interview I did with the IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, she shared what she expects the first 90 days of Dr. Clarke being in the post to look like.
We have 190 members, and his first job would be to acquire knowledge about the whole of our membership, and then to engage with the departments of the IMF to understand how we work so he can lead that work effectively. And I expect that in his first 90 days, he will get to speak on behalf of the fund to a diverse membership.
Dr. Clarke is to take up office on October 31. And now let's head to the markets. Foreign exchange trading ended today with banks and Cambio selling the American dollar for an average $158.47. The Canadian is going for $118.97. $208.27 is the average value of the pound, while the euro is going for $179.79. The JSE index advanced by 3,012 points today, while the junior market index increased by 46 points. Among the 55 winners were Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, General Accident Insurance Company, Jamaica, Key Insurance Company, A.S. Bryden & Sons Holdings out of Trinidad and Tobago, and I Create Ordinary Shares. 37 losers were led by MFS Capital Partners, CAC 2000, 138 Student Living Jamaica, Consolidated Bakers Jamaica, and Epley 7.75% preference shares. 17 stocks closed the session selling at the same price they started trading. And that's the Business Day. I am Javon Keys. Good evening.